Some of the main challenges I've faced throughout my career have been around cost control and meeting budgets. Managing and normally working 5 days a week behind the bar or on the floor if it's a restaurant is stressful and time consuming enough without then having to put on a business management hat and go and spend hours a week in a stuffy office looking at spreadsheets. I also found that when I started in management, my background wasn't in maths, my background wasn't in business analytics, so it was frustrating and it took me a while longer to actually look through spreadsheets, format spreadsheets, and get my head round gross profit, net profit, payroll costs, cost of goods, so on and so forth. The first time I managed a business on my own, I got a very rude awakening. I thought I had everything under control. I was doing stock control, I was doing cash management, cash control, but still at the end of the first quarter, I had stock losses, I had shrinkage, i.e. stock walking out of the site. I remember I got a written warning from my area manager, and I just didn't know what to do or where to turn. Fortunately, that area manager was a great mentor and actually walked me through the whole situation, but it was an incredibly stressful time. I remember not sleeping very much, not eating very much, working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, with very little or no support. And when I opened my business, it was exactly the same situation. You can only rely on you. And this program, these videos and working with Floodlight gives me the opportunity to hopefully reach out to other people and maybe help them not go down the same road. Maybe offer some advice, be it personal or from a data and analytics point of view that we do with Floodlight, so that people don't make the same mistake. I have had the opportunity to speak to a lot of users on Floodlight and hear their stories and hear where their businesses have been going wrong, and it's a great feeling to know that we've helped them. In terms of training, there are courses that people can do if you work for a group of bars or a franchise. There will be generic management courses that you can attend, and quite often when people are at a sort of bar supervisor, assistant manager level or sous chef level, they may well go on some courses. The difficulty is that translating what happens in the classroom to what actually happens in the business is not always smooth or self-evident, and trying to fit a course around working 5 days a week or 6 days a week can also be very difficult. So in terms of things that you need to keep an eye on when you are running a business, or opening a business, or thinking about opening a business, first and foremost is that you need to be profitable straight off the bat, or at least thinking to be profitable straight off the bat. It is an incredibly unforgiving industry. You're up against lots of other businesses that might be opening a bigger site, might have more money for their fit out, might have bigger or better teams than you. So it can be very, very difficult, and it's easy to lose money quickly. You've got to examine why you want to get into the industry in the first place. If it is simply that you're coming from another career, you've taken early retirement and you want to open a nice cafe because you feel that the pace of life is going to be easier, I'd consider thinking again. It can be very long hours, it can be very unrewarding for long periods of time, Your customers will be demanding, your team will be demanding, the needs of the business will be demanding. So it can be frustrating. However, it can also be incredibly rewarding. The opportunity to meet amazing people, both in terms of team members, other bar owners, your customers, is something that I find a constant source of fulfillment and happiness and fun and friendship. You can make good money. It's a balance, and I think what we're trying to get across in these videos is that being able to make the decisions with more information is definitely going to help you. So what are the key things that you need to look out for in terms of running a business? The most important is going to be your cash management and profitability. Cash is the lifeblood of your business. If you don't keep an eye on it, you'll be in trouble very quickly. You'll want to know about staff payroll. Staff payroll in Australia is probably the biggest expense that you're going to face. So getting on top of it early and keeping an eye on it is really, really important. We'll show you on these videos some of the neat little tools that we've got to help you do that in real time. We'll also discuss some of the other products from other providers which you might want to have a look at to do the same thing. You'll also want to look at your product. What do you want to stock versus what do your customers want to buy? You might think that your offering is the next greatest line of burgers or hot dogs or coffee shops or craft beer bars, but your customers might have a different idea. So we'll talk about what you should be selling, what you want to sell, staying true to your brand, and then again keeping an eye on those sales, making sure that you have a great balance between the sort of products that you want to sell that might not have a great gross profit margin but might be a high turnover in terms of revenue or numbers sold, and products that might not be all singing or dancing but that do bring in good gross profit amount and actually pay the bills. We'll talk about your team building, getting a good team of people together, motivating them effectively, keeping them happy, but again, keeping an eye on that cost. We'll also talk about, with that, a little bit about human resources management, managing people in terms of training, managing people in terms of moving them around the business. And then one of the other things we'll talk about as well is shrinkage and wastage, keeping an eye on that. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us, and of course more importantly, send in your comments. We'll try to get through as many as possible and make some answers for you. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have got to say, but thanks for now.